タコルル、リムルル、服部半蔵、ガルフォード、千両京四郎、立花右京、騎馬神源十郎、首切りバサラ、花封印ガイラ、久米静丸、天草四郎時貞、柳生十兵衛、シャルロット、タムタム、風間草月、風間和樹、稲月残九郎、修羅、羅刹、見客、剣豪、剣聖、いざ尋常に、勝負。1本目、2本目、3本目、最終戦、連ね斬り、一戦、技あり、連続斬り、一本、勝負あり、お見事、時間切れ、引き分け、相打ち、完勝、快勝、試合終了、断末完了。
What is up? Damn, listen to this track. Listen to how atmospheric this track is. This is sick. Let me make sure I have everything set up here. Alright, I got like notes and stuff. I don't know how long the stream is gonna be, but this is kind of something different. I'm just gonna go over these videos that came out over the past week or so. Just a couple of them. Let me see. Let me link this up. This is IGN Korea's channel. I want to give the proper credit here. Let's see if I can make a little text overlay too. This live stream production here. Anyway, how's it going? Yeah, I know I haven't streamed in a while. Been dealing with IRL crap, but I wanted to at least stream once this week. So here we are. Where's my favorite font? Oh, you can't use it. I guess we'll go Arial Black. I guess that's just what we're gonna do. Let me make this real freaking big. Yeah, there we go. That worked. That looks fine. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, but I'll probably kind of produce this one a little bit, put it on YouTube once I finish here. Let me see how loud the video itself is. I got these in VLC so I can frame step them. Where are we at here? Boom. All right. So this one isn't too exciting, but it has a few things in it. Combo from Dogfight. Okay. Let's see if this thing looks good. Is space play? I guess space is play. Okay, there we go. Alright. Also might wait a few minutes for people to join here. But like I said, this first one isn't. There's just a few things here. Let's see where we at. So the first thing was, oh yeah, so this move still exists. I think it's course go back medium. I don't think I ever saw people use it in other videos. This his like dog bite move. It was like at the beginning of this. Oh no, it was this. Is he threw this? He threw this before he got hit. And I assume this is consistent with like other games. But he's like pretty early in the startup of this move. He's still in the Bushin. Right? So he gets hit, and Poppy doesn't even move, right? Before he gets hit. And then the dog disappears and hits. So that was pretty early in the move. Can you see the frames? We're seeing the frames right now, Irfan. We're counting these frames. I mean, we can count. Hey, we can count them if you want. We can count them up. We can count them up right now. Oh, I'm not getting frames here. Okay, here we go. Let's analyze. I mean, that was probably a lot of. So they backdash. One. I don't know if that's his neutral stance or not. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 44, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 9. That's at least 3/4 of a second of startup there. I mean, it's not exactly... It's no testament for the XE Beast, you know? It's like... But it's there. Now, something else I saw happen. Nakaruru does her, like, big super, like the one that has, like, hella startup in this video. But I think she had... So he tries to throw here on Wake Up, and I think she just has natural throw in ball. What's up, Nod and Bow? A second time. So I'm pretty sure she's still throwing ball here, and that's why this doesn't work. But it's hard to tell. I know, like, I'm pretty sure they have like pretty like old school feeling throwing ball. So let's watch it in regular speed. So he runs up, she rolls forward, throws. That seems like, doesn't that seem like she should be able to be thrown there, right? Because in the other video, somebody actually gets thrown out of their super, like the mega super or whatever. The forward has to go forward one, which is what she's doing here. This is like the one with all the startup. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, this is so you can use it to punish things, and you can use it to like bait a throw because it has invincibility. But like, we'll see in the other video. And the other video makes it seem like it's not. So maybe it's like just on the startup. Like you would have to time it with their throw. But that, I mean, that totally. I'm gonna watch it again. It totally looks like the throwing ball should be over, right? I mean, he waits forever. Like he waits forever. But I've never played the game, so I don't know if like they've recreated. But I feel like this is if this was like 4 or 5, you'd be able to throw there. But yeah, so like there's like, so you could actually, it's possible that you can like call somebody's throw tech out and just use that to punish it. So like big punish on like a whiff, like Dragon Punch or something, or like that. Because so far there hasn't been that many applications for those supers, because they're so slow. What was this? Oh yeah, Galford. So the guard cancel that you get from perfect guard. So you perfect guard something, hit A+B. The other video shows some other properties of it, but here you can see Galford's, because I hadn't seen, because everybody has a different animation. So Galford, he puts his palm out. You'll see it in here. Because Charlotte, she does like a shoulder charge and doesn't have much range. Yeah, so right there. And it's really fast. It's not invincible, which we'll see in the other video. But the one thing I noted... Damn, that happened so fast. The one thing I noted about Charlotte's is it didn't have that much range, but so some of these might have a lot of range. But so far, nobody's used like their weapon to do these. I've only seen a few. So I mean, like if you look at the distance, she's pretty spaced out. I mean, Nakaruru doesn't have that much range, right? I mean, sure, far medium slash is probably a little further range than that, but you know, this is more or less like her max weapon range she would get on a normal. And then this still hits. So that seems pretty good. I feel like having one of those, it's pretty long range, seems pretty decent, you know, considering that a lot of characters are going to have good pokes from like long range. If you can get that guaranteed, even though if it's, you know, it's not going to give you any damage or whatever, but it'd be annoying if you can do it consistently, right? Yeah, seems like a lot of range for that. And then the only other thing that was notable that I thought in this video is Genjuro does throw super here, which I mean, I'm pretty sure this is like universal. This is like the just the rage super that doesn't do a ton of damage. The weapon flip technique. I don't know if I had seen anybody do this particular combo, because like I think most characters get this for free off a throw. I know Galford can. Charlotte, I think I saw Howamaru do it. So I'm pretty sure this is mostly universal. I don't know if Jubei can do it, because his super's the big pillar is kind of slow. But yeah, so there's that. That was pretty much, the rest of this is kind of just futzing around. There wasn't anything too crazy that I saw in that. So let's go ahead. Let's go on to the Dengeki. I keep on saying Dengeki. It's Dengeki. The Dengeki video, which is super long, and I have a bunch of notes on it. And there's quite a lot, and they do some real. I think they were taking notes from like viewers to test stuff out, and so there's a lot of interesting things in that video, which you might see on like on Hi Fight on Twitter was posting some highlights. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here. That is not how Dengeki. There we go. we'll just go like that. It's good. I think Willie was talking about and his packed Eason press and throw in the supers heavily scale. Yeah, everything seems to scale off throws. So like throw in the Eason, throw into every. It seems like it's like a 50%, maybe like a flat scale for anything you do off of a grab. So it's kind of like Sam Show 4, but you're not gonna get the insane damage that you would normally get. We got some gentlemen here that are ready to square up. How do I full screen this? There we go. So this is a long one. All right, so first thing, this was pretty cool. So guard crushes or guard cancel is really fast. Let me make sure, how loud is this? Let me turn this down a little bit. I want some sound, but yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, so they're testing whether you can safe jump a guard cancel, and you totally can. Yeah, see, so and it has a lot of recovery, so you have to consider that if somebody has something that can blow through it or something. I was also thinking, you know, your rage burst has invulnerability, so actually no. Well, this doesn't have invulnerability, so I guess you couldn't use. I was thinking maybe you could make it whiff with your rage burst too. Because people were bringing, Freeno was bringing up on Twitter, like there's certain moves that you could rage burst through and they whiff above your head, and then you could get a guaranteed Eason, which is consistent with the old games. It said this game would cost $40 only. Do you think it's a fair price? I mean, I feel like the buyer determines the value of the game. Like this game, I want to play really bad, so I wouldn't really care the price, you know. And I don't play a lot of different games. I usually play just fighting games for the most part. And usually the single player games, I don't play a lot of them. And usually they're not, I don't buy like the AAA stuff, so they're not that expensive. 1 second, I'm gonna go ahead and put a nice outline on this text so you can read the damn text. There we go. Make it a little thicker here, 1 second. Outline size. There we go. We'll go with that. It looks a little bit better. All right. So it's probably pretty tight because these guard cancels look pretty fast, but they're doing it pretty consistently in the video. I mean, we'll see how deep this jumping is. Yeah, it's like the jump is not incredibly deep. I mean, it's not. He's on its head, right? And then. One, two. I mean, they're pretty close around. They're like within like maybe 3 frames of hitting the ground, so maybe it is pretty deep. But you can see, definitely bait that. It has hella recovery. I think in here, I'm not sure. So they were trying to perfect guard stuff to see if it did chip damage. And I think it actually doesn't do chip damage if you perfect guard it. Yeah, if you notice, life bar is not budging. Unless he gets hit. Yeah, there's no... Yeah, and there's the little chip on the normal guard, so you can clearly see that perfect guard does completely eliminate chip. There's nothing. No movement. No movement. Yeah. Got hit, right? Perfect guard. And there's a chip. It did like a pixel. So no chip damage. But you'd have to, on multi-hitting moves, I don't know if you would have to repeat the input. I would assume you do have to repeat the input if you want to actually not get chipped out on like multi-hitting moves. Speaking of which, they actually test that out too in here. So they're trying to, well, they started on Jube's mash move. Speaking of chip damage, did you hear about the new mechanic that added MK11 that prevents chip kill? So I don't know the specifics of it, but there's the instant block, and you can do your wake up options from instant block, and I think they said it decreased chip damage. It was like 10% chip, which is like almost nothing. But apparently I don't know if it's like really little chip and it also prevents chip kill, or if it's like it's just so little, it's like super small amount of chip. Because in Mortal Kombat, damage is calculated by like, you have like 1,000 points of life, and they even I think they still have like decimals for how the damage is calculated. So when you bring like scaling into it, that might be just be like very, very like small. It's not instant block. You have defensive meter, and something will chip kill you and take a devar. Oh, I did not know about that. No, that's new to me. Interesting. So if you had defensive meter and something will chip kill you, it would just take your meter. That's interesting. And you can't. I guess you can't stop it from happening, right? Unless you get hit by it and die. It just takes your meter. That's okay. Yeah. So right here, they're instant blocking on. It's kind of hard to. What's my here? 1 second. Do I have like a? I don't know what my keys for like big, because I know I can't frame step back, but I don't know what my keys are for. Actually, I think you can frame step back. It's like Control E or Shift E. I forget. Whatever. Yeah, but right here. So he's guarding normally. Or no, that looks like that's the blue. So maybe that's perfect guard. And I'm guessing right there he tries to do the counter. Let's watch again. See, I don't know if that's actually the perfect guard, but you'll see in a second. You can clearly see he'll do the Jubei mash move, and he tries to like perfect guard and counter it, and he just gets hit out of it. So there's like no invulnerability. It was literally just from, oh, the UK launch event. Okay. Yes, so I saw I literally saw like the last match of the UK launch event. Yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to test. Yeah, so that's a normal guard. And the blue is the perfect guard. So there's blue, and then he tries to counter somewhere in here. So blue. That's blue, I guess, yeah. I wonder if he's inputting every one. I wonder if maybe you can just input the first one and you get the rest as long as you keep holding back, as long as they're like it's like tight. Right? And then right there, he tries to, or no, not yet. That's a normal guard. I don't think he gets it there. Footage like you're looking for the Zodiac killer. We're looking for evidence. We're looking for. We are examining the evidence here. All right, so deflect cancels into the mash move. Get ready, getting ready. All right, so that's normal guard. Normal guard. Normal guard. I know what it is. I don't know which one they actually get it on. Eventually they get it. Yes, he's trying to mash back to actually get the perfect guard. Oh, got hit. So, normal guard. Normal guard. Perfect guard. And then right there, you can see it. You can see the shoulder start up. And then he gets it. So yeah, you can't like if like Charlotte does a splash foul or something, almost a sploosh foul, or something like this, you can't prevent it from having to block it. But I mean, you can still avoid the chip. Which of the new characters are you more interested in trying? Well, I've only seen, so we'll watch the trailer for Darli Dagger, which I only watched it like once. I want to know what they do first. Just by design, I think the kid with the bird stuff, feathers, and the long handle sword or whatever looks really cool. Like him and Darlie look the coolest. The other characters like not really my thing, but I mean, if they have cool gameplay stuff, I'm sure I'll be. I want to try them all out. This is a game I really like to just play like random select because Samurai Shodown's pretty basic, so it's fun to play multiple characters. Okay, so 1725. We got, so this is how Halmar does back throw against Jubei, and this... Oh, I don't... Slash. So they're trying to see what's guaranteed off of a grab. And he does back throw. And he gets a low heavy. Like a low heavy is guaranteed. You can tell just because Jubei is back turned still. So, and we'll see later on, it's character specific too, or it seems like. Because he does that same thing to knock Ruru on back throw, and he doesn't get a guarantee because she's too small. So, we'll see that again. In fast motion. When was that? 1725. Yeah, how do I, There we go. This is good. Yeah, hey, hey. Oh. Yeah. So he should be able to do low heavy into reverse DPA like the light smash like overhead attack, and that should be guaranteed. All right, what was this? Oh, they were testing like frames. So they were testing just to see how good throw is, which it seems like it's really good. It looks like it's going to be like Summer Shodown 6, where since you have a throw command and you get a whiff animation, it has a lot of range. So you notice like you can't really do this in 4 and 5, but you could do this in 6, where somebody gets something blocked. And right now they're just testing stuff that's like throwing ball, like backdash. But you saw the first one, he blocks Jubei's move, right, from like this distance. So there's a little bit of space in between them. You wouldn't be able to throw here in most Summer Shodown games that just have 1 button throw, or even 5 special. All right, so he does this. I mean, that's a little bit of space in between them. And then I think the Jubei player is trying to mash again to see if he can do something. And then Halmar just throws, or doesn't throw, as the case may be. He's trying to like mash jab and just throws him out of it. So yeah, I think throw's gonna probably feel a lot like Summer Shodown 6 just because of that. I mean, it's just like there's the same kind of like whiff animation. Block move throw. Oh, and they also were somewhere here. Yeah, they were just noting how long the throw whiff animation is like. It's like Gibby showed this in one of his videos. Like the throw whiff is like super fucking long. So if somebody like neutral jumps you, holds up, or does that AB dodge, which also dodges throw or backdashes, they're going to get something guaranteed. What do we got? Throw 2110. Oh yeah, what was it? Shift. Yeah, 21. Okay, so this is like more the same. They're just kind of testing what you can do, and this is just shows off that AB is invulnerable to throws, which people already knew. I don't know if there's like startup. I'm assuming it's like frame 1 invul, and then there's like a lot of recovery on the dodge. Now that was interesting. Now what was that? Now that was kind of weird, right? So maybe you have so that's because a throw invul out of blocks on, I'm assuming, which may not apply to command throws. I think command throws had like if you play like Garo or like Fatal Fury Special or the old Fatal Furies, you had less throw invul versus command throws versus normal throws. Because in Summer Shodown, usually people with command throws can like deflect cancel their block moves into command throw, and they can tick throw you like that. And right here, Jubei's just doing like a jab into a normal throw. He's obviously at frame disadvantage, right? It's not like Halmar was in block stun. But Jubei tries to throw and can't throw him. Right? He just whips. So I guess I'm guessing that's just evidence of there's throw invulnerability in the game, like old school style. I mean, most of the stuff in this game seems to be kind of like 1-for-1, copied from at least one of like the more modern. It's like it was like the mid-90s, but one of the more modern Summer Shodown games, right? Like 4 and 5 and a little bit of 6 maybe. What was this? AB. Oh yeah, so they're gonna do. Oh god. Oh. Okay, we're good. Although he doesn't have to wait. He doesn't have to wait that long, but That also could be Hamaru mashing something instead of blocking. Like maybe if you mash, because in KOF if you mash, you lose your throw-in ball, so that could be a rule too. But yeah, you can obviously do that. And he gets a counter hit, so that's guaranteed. That looked like it was almost too late. But I'm assuming Jubei wasn't blocking. We can only assume. But I'm sure you at least get like a standing medium into like a special. At the very least. I don't know what they're testing here. Oh, they might be testing the jump. So in Samurai Shodown, you can read this on like the wiki. In Samurai Shodown, jump startup is instant. But if you just hold up, your character will land, and they'll be like maybe like a half a second before they jump again. And it's not recovery. It's just the game makes you have to input it again. If you so you see the pause on the first jump. That was them like an example of what would usually happen if you held up. And remember, all this info is coming from like old games because I haven't played this game, but from what we've seen, it's kind of like consistent with the old game. So he does this and he lands for a second and he jumps again. That's if you hold up. But if you notice, now he's jumping like instantly. It's if you manually press up. And then when you do that, especially if you don't do any move in the air, there's no landing recovery. So if you time that right and they hit you with like a ground move, you just flip out in the air. You're always airborne. So they can't throw you. Even if they do like a sweep or something, it pops you up and does like an air reset instead of knocking you down. So you have to kind of just read the jump, do like jump hard slash, do something where you don't care if it hits in the air, like a universal overhead or whatever. What was it? Throw mass 2230. Oh, it's right here. Something. This is deflect. Oh, this is you saw. This was on High Fight's Twitter. Basically, they were showing they're going to show the deflect animation or the deflect stun. It's so long you get a guaranteed jump in. So as long as you can time your jump ins really well. And I don't know if it's going to be different because when you deflect a heavy attack, it actually throws their weapon out. If it's medium or light, it doesn't do that. And I don't know if the stun time is different as well. But you'll see in a second. They'll do like a full jump in. Now, of course, different characters are going to have different like jump speeds, so it might not be possible with every character. But you get a jump in. But that's not a deep jump in. If you want to get a deep jump in, you got to hit it like really low to the ground if you want to combo off of it. There's a huge difference in Samurai Shodown classically between if you're jumping like a couple frames before you land, it's a huge hit stun. You can do whatever you want. If not, it's basically like even. You don't even get like frame advantage. The exception being in Samurai Shodown 6. So that's a whole nother story. Samurai Shodown 6 was different. Deflect startup 2430. What was this? 2430. Oh, they were showing this. I think they were trying to test whether you could deflect on wake up, and deflect always had like startup. Oh yeah, he was trying to he's blocking Jubei's jump and then trying to deflect the move after. And right there, he tries to do it. And it doesn't work. Well, notice how deep that jump in is. He lands like the instant, right? He's doing it like right on the ground. So I think what they're trying to show is the deflect has a little bit of startup. That's what I'm assuming. That's what the case seems to be. So, and I'm pretty sure that's consistent. I don't think deflect has ever been like frame 1 startup. Got cut in half. You know how it is. You know how it is. Oh yeah, they're testing deflect versus attacks that don't use her weapon. And I think they tried it versus one of Charlotte's like close normals, like her medium, because she uses like the handle, right? And they were trying to figure out if like you could deflect that, and it seems like you can't. Like she uses that little jab. Oh, that actually looks like yeah. So she's using like the handle of her sword, and I think they determined that they're a little early, but I think they determined that. Oh no, there it goes. Okay, there's just timing, so you can deflect that. I don't know the specific deflect moves, but it's. I'm assuming that's consistent with old games. I don't know all the deflect properties of the moves, so to me it's just kicks. Like if you use your weapon at all, I assume that everything with a weapon can be deflected, and that's pretty consistent. And there's nothing for a while here. This we've seen, so this is just showing Eason is invulnerable, which we've all seen. And this is one of the things that is different in the new game that kind of concerns me, because Eason was never invulnerable in the past games. Oh, I think they already did it. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's guaranteed, right? In the past games, Isin was never invulnerable. It was just fast. And so let's say, like in the game where it's like really, I mean, 4 and 5 are both really dangerous because in 4 you can do it off of a grab and it doesn't scale. And in 5 you have your slowdown. You can get it, you know, if they whiff anything, it's like guaranteed. You can do mix-ups into it, and they have to like rage burst. And sometimes you can get like you can like do a mix-up, they can rage burst your mix-up, and then you get another mix-up, and then you get Isin from that. So Isin was always like really dangerous, but it was never invincible. So, like, for example, in 4, if somebody had Rage Burst activated, you could jump up back in the corner. Remember what I said about jump start up? It was like instant. You could just jump hard slash, and they couldn't Isin you to anti-air you. They had to actually, like, jump and meet you in the air and guess that you were going to jump. You could use that as a defense versus it. And they wouldn't be able to Isin you. They wouldn't be able to throw you. They had to do something else that was way lower damage to try to get you to stay on the ground so they could force it. And they had limited time. And you know, your meter that you had to do the Isin was longer the lower life you had, so it's like if you guessed wrong on their jump and they met you in the air with a hard slash, you would just die, right? So it wasn't that easy to just land a throw in the Isin or whatever. But now Isin's invincible, at least from what we've seen, so you can anti-air with it, which is kind of scary to me. I mean, it does. I mean, look, you can take the throw. It's gonna be a lot of taking the throw in this game, by the way. You can take the throw, right? And it does, like, you know, it does a lot less damage, but I don't know. Isin seems really good, right? So I'm not sure about that. And I don't know, and I haven't seen any evidence yet of Isin having a hitbox on the other side, because in Samurai Showdown's past, like 4 and 5, you could cross up with Isin. So if you already had Rage Burst on, or some things that like they would knock the opponent down, you would Rage Burst while they're knocked down. You would just see which way they rolled and just kind of time it. And you could time your Isin so it went through them on wake up, and it would hit on the other side. And they'd have to see. It was like Blanca cross up super or whatever in CVS2. You do like level 3 on top of your wake up, and you have to guess which side it's on. It was the same thing. And of course, Isin's punishable in this game, which it used to not be. But that's a lot of damage to take on a 50-50 if they still cross up. So if they're invincible when they used to not be, I'm kind of hoping that maybe they don't cross up where they used to cross up. Because an like, can't jump away from it, right? And it's invincible. I don't know. Isin might be really good. And then on top of that, they have the mega supers that you have access to once a match that do just as much damage, that are guaranteed off a big punish or something. So I don't know. It might be crazy. It might be really nuts. But we'll see. 25, 30, 25. Oh, my notes are out of order. Oh no, we're going backwards. 25, 30. This one's I lost track. So this one was the one I referred to before, where they're playing 20. Wait, what was it? 25, 30. Oh, I think I wrote it down. It's 35, 30. 1 second. It wasn't out of order. It was against yeah, here it was. Yeah, so Haomaru does this, and he tries to do low heavy, and it doesn't reach. So the same thing that worked on Jubei, but it doesn't work on Nakaruru. So there's going to be character-specific combos. We can, at least in this build, it looks like there are. But he does a front turn throw, and it does reach. But I don't know if that's guaranteed on a front turn opponent. I don't know if they're actually guarding here when that hits. So I don't know if that down heavy is guaranteed. There's no way to really tell. I don't know Japanese, so I don't know what they're saying. But yeah, so maybe some character-specific stuff due to character size. So there's some breadth. There's some complexity. 47. Oh, here's something I'm kind of interested in. So especially Dragon Punch moves and like Invincible moves were really different between 4 and 5. A lot of Dragon Punches got toned down for 5. A lot of them have really odd properties in terms of like their invulnerability. So far in this game, it seems like they've gone down back to the 4 style, where most of the Dragon Punches were invincible, just like totally invulnerable. Like Idro's was super invincible and fast. Haomaru's was, like, his jab one was kind of slower and invincible, and his heavy DP was invincible. So I think that they just so here we're trying to just do anti-airs, and you can't really see the invulnerability here. I mean, this is super high in the air, so you can't really tell. Oh, they were trying to test how safe the slide was. It's still, like, they spaced it out pretty much as best they could, and it looked pretty laggy. I don't know if you could ever make that safe in the past game, but you can see it hits it like the tip, and they perfect guard it. I don't know if perfect guard has lower block stun. I haven't heard anything about that, but it looks hella punishable, regardless. What was this, 47? So, I mean, that looks pretty legit, right? Right? It's not. Assuming you're talking about the slide. That looks like kind of like, usually like these aren't. Now his dash heavy, they gave him his big dash heavy. They're playing, that's what I'm watching, Dynamite Pete. I'm watching it right now. That you could, it's too high up to really tell if it was invincible. I thought it was interesting that I was trying it as anti-air. I think I might try it again here. Now that looked like kind of like a safe jump, right? Yeah. Or, well, not a safe jump, but this DP'd really late. I mean, it kind of whiffed through the range. I can't really tell. Builds rage and lets you go to guard cancel. Oh, you're talking about the blocks now. Okay. Yeah, that's what I've heard before, but I wasn't sure. But thanks. Builds rage and lets you go. Oh, yeah, the builds rage, yeah. And no chip damage. No chip damage. Yeah, so I don't know if that's definitive. I mean, maybe, I think they might try this again. And that looks pretty freaking invincible. That's his heavy Dragon Punch. That looks legit. There's later on we'll see that too. So yeah, it looks like that's legit. Where was this? 4750. So this is this move, the overhead, Hamaru's reverse DP move. This has had a lot of different versions. Like in 5 he goes more vertical, I think, and I forget which one does which, but you see he goes under this fireball. I forget if this is more similar to 4 or 5. Because in 4 or 5, they animate totally different. I think in 4, he goes like straight up in the air. And he doesn't go that far. So, anyway, that's what happens in this game. That's pretty long range. And goes almost to the top of the screen, so you can probably go over fireballs like that one. I mean, that's Charlotte's fireballs, those are pretty damn tall. So, there you go. This is just them talking about Nakaru's dive is overhead, which I think it's always been in these games. Yeah, I missed it. I think I timestamped this wrong. 55. Yeah, basically they were just showing that her dive is overhead. I think I'm probably just too early. Oh, and they were showing her anti-air too, which I think they do a hard slash here, and yeah, it looks pretty specific. I don't know if that was ever good anti-air. I don't think any of these moves were ever like invincible, but I mean, you better be losing something legit if you're going to anti-air Haomaru jump heavy. So, I mean, yeah, I can see a trade right there. I mean, it's not even in her favor. Yeah, let me back up. I'm pretty sure, not that this is that interesting to see that this is overhead, but we'll just go to the beginning of the round. But the bird dive is really fast. Yeah, so they're ducking, and guess what? It's overhead. Oh, Shodown. Oh, this is they were testing. So if you, I don't know if anybody in here has played KOF 14. Sure you have. In KOF 14, the animation where Nakaru grabs her bird, when the game came out, it was invulnerable, and then they changed it into it became vulnerable, but she was airborne like right away. They were just testing to see if it had invulnerability. It does not have invulnerability in this, which it never did. But that was like a new thing for KOF 14. They just kind of put that in there. Since KO 14, people hit a lot of buttons, and they're trying to see, you know, give her a little extra something. Yeah, she's not invulnerable in this. Not that it needs to be. Yeah, no bird grab invul in this game. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, this was kind of interesting to me. So this is something that I became aware of just because I've been playing 5 Special recently. Galford has the moves where he jumps up and throws, like the dog flips at you from above and like bounces off the screen. This move did a lot of damage in 5 Special. It did like a lot of damage, and it doesn't seem to do much damage in this. You can see like it's not a lot. I recall this doing a hell of damage in 5 Special, and just It doesn't strike me as a move that would do a lot of damage. I mean, it's airborne. He kind of like covers himself. Whatever. But yeah. Just, you know, whatever. Okay. Fair enough. Oh yeah, this so Galford's cross-up where he appears from the top of the screen seems like it really has a really small hitbox in this game. I don't think I've ever seen this thing whiff in any Samurai Showdown. But I think they just like walk under this thing. And it makes it look real small. Right? I feel like that shouldn't like... And now, of course, this is not a final build, right? But that would like never... That shit hits in others. Like, that shit would never happen in others in old Samurai Showdown. Will they test to see if the bird will beat projectile supers like it did in Vanilla 14? That is... probably one on release would probably test. What I would assume is the bird would just trade with it, and the bird would just get knocked away because you can like hit it. But I'm not sure. I'm not a Nakaruru expert. I didn't play her much in Samurai Shodown, so I don't even know the specific properties of it. But she doesn't have like, well, she has a bird super too in this game. I know, yeah, I don't know the interactions unfortunately, so I haven't seen anything on the recent videos that are were they test anything related to that? So yeah, that was kind of weird that had such a small hitbox. Kind of strange, but I mean, I'm sure he can still do. I haven't seen anybody do it, but the heavy slash version of the dog, where just the dog comes down from above, and then Galford does the teleport, and the teleport like doesn't even hit, but like the dog hits you before it, and you have to block the dog as a cross up. I'm assuming he can still do that in this game. He could do that in like every Samurai Shodown game, so I am assuming that is a thing, but I have not seen it. This they were showing, so Earthquake Super used to be a hit. I'm pretty sure it's a grab in this game. So he does this animation. That's the same as animation he did in the old games, but you would block it. It's kind of really a cheesy thing, and you can like move around with it. You can move forward and back, at least in the old games, and they move a little bit forward. But as far as I know, this is like an actual grab in this game. They don't actually get it to grab. I don't think they do it like once and then they just let it whiff. So I don't know if you can like walk into that, or I'm assuming you can walk into that. So there you go. But yeah, okay. Interesting. Don't know. 114.10. They pick Jubei next. 14.10. Got some stuff. Oh, this is they're just doing deflect cancel with Jubei into counter. They were doing low jab with Genjuro. I don't know if that counts. It's not. You don't have to block it low. I don't know if that counts as a low move, but it didn't catch the mid counter here. All right, so it does this counter. Oh, it does a low. All right, so there's the counter. That looks like a low. That's a low counter. I think you have to do a mid counter for that move. Hi, bro. I'm having trouble dashing left in KO web, especially during a combo that needs it. Any ideas? Use a Sanwa? Dashing left? That sounds like a joystick issue if it's like a specific, like a joystick or execution, but like, I would have to know what's happening. I would turn on your inputs. Even if you're using like a Sanwa like JLF, every stick is a little different. Depending on the throw of the stick, you might not be returning to neutral. Like if you're tapping too fast, you might be hitting left and then going back and then not quite deactivating the micro switch before you hit left again. Certain sticks that have like a long activation, or not like a short activation, you might get that. But I have to, like, if you're getting both taps and it's not coming out, I mean, it's basically an issue of like too early or too late, right? All I can say is if it's like not coming out at all, you might try to make sure you're holding the second input. So like tap and then hold the second one. But other than that, I'm not. Those would be my only troubleshooting ideas there. Yes, they're the counter. The counter. This is just the counter caught it. Mid counter. That does a shitload of damage. Actually, yeah, that looked like the same one. I think that was the mid counter then. Yeah, he puts the sword in front. Yeah, that's the mid counter. Oh wait, 1 second. Let me compare these animations. Not sure what he's. So that's 1 second. I need to see this. Right, so he has one sword behind him and one sword like held in front. I want to see if this is like the same counter he's using both times. Yeah, same one. So that must be the mid counter in this game. Kind of looks like the low one. Anyway, hella damage, right? Hella damage. Yeah. Oh, this is this was High Fight posted this to Twitter as well. This is just them playing footsies with Jubei, so you can see the collision box left on like the recovery of moves that you can hit, so you can play some extreme intense footsies here. These new particle effects look too SK Hero ones for my taste. I mean, I feel like their new thing is like if you look at like the models are pretty nice and the backgrounds look good. Pretty much the only weak point is like some animations and like maybe the shading on some like the faces and stuff, like the lighting and the way they hit the faces and like normal mapping and stuff. But I feel like part of this game that makes it look good, it looks so much better than KO14 is the art direction and like the effects and the use of color and like the art direction, like the ink effects and stuff. So I feel like if you take away those effects, you're not gonna the game's gonna lose a lot of pizzazz, and it's definitely however you feel about it, it's definitely an improvement over King of Fighters 14. So I mean, when I look at this game, I'm definitely not rewinding up Ace and K Hero wins. As someone who only saw that game and did not play it, it definitely doesn't remind me of that game. If anything, the effects remind me of like Capcom versus SNK 2. I'm trying to do run instant super with Clark and kill 2K2. Okay, that's way different. 1P side I always get it, but 2B side 426 and then 44426. Oh, the 44 for some reason. Okay. What I would do is, I don't know if you can download like a third-party input display for your your computer, so you can actually like, because I'm assuming you're playing on like an emulator. I would see if you're hitting everything. Some of those supers you can't do 426. I don't know. I'm pretty sure most of those supers, at least for, I'm trying to think. A lot of them you have to hit every single input. Like you have to hit every cardinal and diagonal direction on every single input of the super to get it. And I remember I would miss in KO14 for example, which is a game like has modern inputs. I would do half circle back twice, and I would do half circle forward from like the 1P side, and I would miss the back. Like my joysticks maybe worn in a little bit, or I'm not sitting right, and so I'm not hitting that like on the second go around. I'm not hitting the back when I go back to do the second motion. But if the dash isn't coming out, it's like, I don't know, run super but get 2B side, mess up that 4-4. It sounds like you're just doing it really fast. Using input display, I can see that the dash is not correctly being inputted, but I don't know what to do about it. Like I said, if you're getting 1-4, so if you're like going to left, right, and then your hand goes back, but you're not actually hitting neutral, it's the throw of your stick. Right, because so you move the stick, it hits the micro switch to activate it, and let's say you only move slightly, so it has a really short activation throw, and then you move it all the way over, right? So you're doing the full input, so you hit the switch and then you move through the whole input, and you go back, but you just don't go back far enough to hit neutral. Well, if you have like a smaller actuator on your joystick, you could make it, or you use a different type of stick. I don't know if you want to go that extreme, but you could change it so that you have to move the stick further to activate the micro switch. So let's say you move like halfway, you hit the micro switch, then you hit the gate, and then you go back, and you don't have to go back as far to hit neutral. And so you could tap it really fast, and you can trust that it's going to go back to neutral. I've definitely played KOF on sticks where, because I used to mess around with a lot of different sticks back in the day, like different like Seimitsu ones, and there were ones that were really hard to like short hop on because you would flick the stick, and it was really hard to go back to neutral because the throw was the activation was so short. So you'd hit the input, and then you try to let it go, and you wouldn't be able to let it go fast enough because it had to move further to go back to neutral. And so I found my natural instinct was to just hold it in a certain spot after I hit the up forward, and I was still past the point of the micro switch activating. So it would just hold it forward and get a normal jump. So the micro switch activation distance can definitely, that sounds what that says. Literally the trick to do any input to do it slower than slowly speed up until it works. That is a great tip if you're patient. if you get pissed off real quick, it doesn't work. I would also recommend, this sounds really stupid, but try to have good posture. It sounds super dumb, I know, but or sit how you would like if you play in like tournament or whatever. Play like you would on tournament, or play like a chair with like a hotel chair or whatever. You know, and just so you're sitting and not like relaxing on the couch or on the floor or some shit like that. Because I definitely noticed, especially with really hard stuff like in Guilty Gear or something, you try to do like combos. It was way easier to do that stuff sitting up, like the stick level in my lap, than like sitting back relaxing. I'd miss like cardinal inputs when doing half circles and stuff. Might get a new actuator in. Yeah, spring could be it too if it's a worn-in spring, or maybe like get a heavier spring so it resists you and wants to go back to neutral. It's definitely an issue not going back to neutral. Yeah, like it could be. I mean, you might just want to get a new JLF. Like I said, like all JLFs feel a little different even when they're new. And getting a new one, you could buy silicone grease and just take the stick apart and just grease up the little cup. It's like a bowl that sits inside of the a cup that sits inside of the JLF. You take it off, and it's on the top that pulls. It's part of the top of the stick. It's on top, so you take off like the E-clip off the bottom and the actuator and the spring, and you pull it up to the top, and it sits in a little bowl thing, and you want to grease up that bowl thing. Make sure it's nice greased up, because if you've had your stick for a long time, most likely it's not lubed up to its fullest extent. Yeah, that's all I really got. But yeah, I would definitely look into that, especially if it feels like you're doing the input as it should feel natural to you. I mean, you could always say, oh well, you just got to execute better. But if it's something so simple as a dash, you should be able to execute it, right? So yeah, I would definitely look into just maybe replacing it, doing some maintenance, because it's hard. It's also hard because usually you can mod a stick to have a shorter actuation, but to have a longer actuation, you have to buy a new actuator. And there are places you can go like Focus Attack or Paradise Arcade, and they have smaller actuators you can put on. So that's what you would have to do, is put a smaller actuator on there to get a longer activation. Slice of Gold, they didn't add my boy Caffeine Nicotine. They did not. Actually, we should talk about it in a second. There's a rumor for the DLC we'll talk about, which I'm kind of, I don't know if it's disappointed if it's true, but we'll see. Anyway, what are we doing? How freaking Maru. He does. Oh, this is another thing. I think they're doing 2C into stuff off a throw or something. Boom. Oh, they're trying to just like combo from this, I think. You probably get like a medium ground pound, like back turned. Back turn, you get a huge stun from down heavy. I don't know if they do anything more. Let me actually back it up. But I put this in my notes as something to look for. Yeah, maybe they just did that. This is just another example of seeing this guaranteed off of there. Yeah, obviously you should be able to do something. And you know, I'm thinking like you might be able to do the Mega Ultra Super off that. Like those have hella startup, but those down heavy slashes have a lot of hit stun when they hit you back turn, and you can cancel them. Like if you could back throw somebody into the corner and then do down heavy into the forward half circle forward super that does like all their life, could be crazy. It could be so crazy. So we'll see. Yeah, really liking the collision boxes on like the recovery of moves. I've seen a lot of like whiff punishes with like pokes and stuff, which is pretty sick. I'm digging it. But I think that was it for that that note. What do we got here? The big super. Oh yeah, this was the other thing. That was it. I think that was 12050. Wait, what was that? 122. Oh no, that wasn't it. So this is the regular super. This is just this rage super. Obviously does not have the invulnerability. 122.53. So here, how Maru does is, how Maru does this, I'm guessing. Yeah, so he does this is the big one, right? And he throws afterward, right? Or at least I'm guessing that's after, right? So he runs up. Let's see. Does he throw before? He might have thrown like right as the freeze happens. Some people say Samcho 4 is better to warm up to the new one. Some people say Samcho 5 is better. Any thoughts? You can just mess around with both. If you're not really committed to anything. So basically what the deal is that Samurai Shodown 5 has the more fleshed out move sets. Like in terms of like the move list of a character, what they're going to have in the new one is going to be like 5, because there's no like bust and slash. There's not like split up characters, so they have more complete move sets. The thing with 4 is that it has more in common with like the base system of the new game, because the new game does not have the roll system of 5. It doesn't have the slowdown time enlightenment system from 5. Now it has a throw whiff, which is actually like 6, but you can combo off throws. You have to do your own combo, and that's like, again, it's like 4. So basically 5 is the more modern versions of the characters. They're fleshed out. They're going to be closer to their new. They're going to be very close to the new versions, and everything else is kind of Samurai Shodown 4. But there's a lot of stuff in Samurai Shodown 4, like weird bust versions of characters that aren't going to exist in 5 or in the new one. So like learning to combo off throws, learning how like back hits feel, like when you throw someone backwards and do a combo off it, is definitely something. Samurai Shodown 4, the only dodge mechanics are the A plus B dodge, which is basically like this game, and there's also a forward A plus B dodge, which is not existent in this game. The only like dodging in this game is the A plus B, which is in 4, and it's not in 5. 5 has a completely different, like, it has like a duck and a hop and a forward hop and rolls and stuff. Like I said, comboing off of throws. And then, you know, like activating Rage Burst is still 5 has Rage Burst, but it's more like 4, where you Rage Burst and then you have access to Esin. You don't have to like do the slowdown time. And you can like do throw into Esin, the slash through, turns the screen red, does all the damage. So that's more or less, yeah. So base system is like 4. Characters are more like 5. But even, like I said, 4 has system stuff that's not like the new one. Like it has like the auto combo, like dial combo stuff that's not in the new one. Oh, another thing that's in 4 that's in the new one is when you're in rage mode, not only do you get your super, your weapon flip technique, you get certain specials are powered up. And that's from 4 as well. It doesn't exist in 5. So like Haomaru, his Dragon Punch does more hits. Gendro's Dragon Punch does more hits. Some characters have multiple moves that get powered up in rage mode, and that's a 4 thing. Now, what the moves will actually do might be different, because there were some very overpowered moves in rage mode in 4, like Hanzo Fireball and Charlotte the Big Stab. They're like totally different. Whoa! 1 second. Okay, I just totally screwed something up for a second. Okay, we're good. But yeah, so that pretty much sums it up. But you just mess around with both and just understand that there's going to be some differences no matter what. Big super. So where are we at? Where are we at in the timeline here? 123. 3. Yeah, so Jubei does a Esin somewhere in here, I think. You can see the damage. This is probably not going to do very much. Oh, he does it forever. Oh, he does it like before he dies. This probably did. Oh, it was low life, whatever. Yeah, so what was 123, 122.53? Yeah, so... Right? He just throws them out of it. So I don't know if certain ones are invulnerable and certain ones aren't. I don't know if he threw before the flash and maybe that matters. Or he threw after the flash and that matters. But either way, I don't think he was throwing. I don't think he was doing anything. I think it was after the flash. So I don't know if that's proof that there's like, maybe there's some throw invul in the beginning of it, or there's like a little bit of invul, or maybe there's none. I don't know. Now it comes out every time. I can't explain very well in English how I'm doing it, but it's very simple. It's probably just, it sounds like hand technique, you know? It's hand technique. Maybe just use, you know, instead of tapping, maybe do wine glass. I don't know. Throw tech super. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this is just something we're going to have to find out on release. Or when they bring it to more shows and stuff. They'll bring us some tournaments and do some in-depth testing. You know what I mean? 130.35. That's way in the future. So this is another example of some definite invulnerability. This is lower body invulnerability. So earlier we saw some definite upper body invul on that Dragon Punch, and here you can definitely see some. I mean, this move, right? Like this move is definitely active, right? Like that move is active, probably, right? And that is definitely a Dragon Punch. That Dragon Punch definitely won. Not better have her infinite. You, no fucking way. Not an English speaker mainly, but I'll try to explain best I can. I'm holding the stick with my left hand as farthest to the right as I can, and all of a sudden it works. Sounds like you're getting leverage. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're just getting better leverage, so you're getting a full stretch on that thumb muscle. You know what I mean? Full range of motion. But I'm glad it's working out for you. If you have trouble in the future, yeah, I would definitely look into try out a smaller actuator. It might be worth it. But as someone who's messed with a lot of custom arcade stick parts as well, I like to just use the default stuff, even if there might be something better, just because, you know, you might have to play on somebody else's stick or whatever. You know what I mean? She needs it. Yo, every character in this game has like a 70% eSync, so like whatever. This game's going to be nuts. Like this game's going to be absolutely nuts from what I've seen so far. But then again, like I said, this might be an old build, so like maybe eSync's not even invincible in the new one. We'll see how it ends up. This might just be some testing. Thanks for the huge help. No problem. Do what I can. As someone who's had a lot of joystick troubles, as someone who switched from like American stick to to Japanese stick and everything in between, I know how it is. Troubleshooting the execution and the hardware is like a pain. Poppy. Oh yeah, this was the dog bite and the hard slash. So you got course back medium. I think this move is with Galford. Medium slash. Then you get a free hard slash. That's pretty good damage. Oh, that reminds me, another thing that's more like 4 and 5. So 5 and 6 have the kinky gauge. It's at the gauge below your life bar right here. And the more you do like your weapon attacks, it empties and it determines the damage that you do. So when it's max, you do like max damage, and your rage, you can do even more damage. But if you attack, it goes down. And so like if you do a lot of attacks in succession or you whiff something, it goes down. So your next attack doesn't do as much. There's even some moves like Halmora's hard slash is like signature, like super high damage, fast hard slash, long range. If he whiffs it, it actually empties that gauge. You have to wait for it to fill back up to do max damage. So if he whiffs a hard slash and does another one right away, it does like small damage. This game has no kinky gauge. I don't know if it's invisible. Maybe it does exist, but they just don't show you. But in 4, that didn't exist. You can just do whatever you want. Your hard slash always does the same damage, given the same like circumstances. So, Mega TV, hello. In Sam Show 4, he got a free infinite off Doggo. Yeah, you could do if you're talking about the one that I know, it's like the one where you do the dog, right? And then as this dog was like biting them. All right, so you do this, and then you jump over them and you do a jump hard slash just so it hits them on the back of the neck, and it would hit back turn so you get the hella stun. And then you would just do your C+D combo starter, which had hella stun, and you just cancel that into the dog again. And once they got back turn, you just do jump in, C+D dog, jump in, C+D dog. Good this channel. Thank you. I agree. So yeah, that did decent damage. But I've also seen that combo in another video, and it seemed like it did less. So that's why I thought of maybe the kinky gauge actually, you never know, it might exist in this game, and it might just be invisible. They might not show you it. So we'll see. And then right here, this is the last thing I have. You could skip the jump in. Yeah, but the jump in's like the coolest part. It's also the part that does the most damage. Galford and Hanzo, as far as I can recall, and I don't know if there was any specifics to it, but they could do C+D combo starter into the A plus B forward, A plus B dodge behind, and just do that over and over. And it did no damage. It was like the Nakaruru Infinite. It was just like, it was so stupid. Like, it's just like, hit him once, like, whoop, hit him once, like, whoop, just go back and forth. And it did like a pixel, if that. Yeah, there's a few combos. I think, and I mentioned it last time we played 4. Rumor had one, and I forget what move it was on, but it's you do a 14 hit up to a certain move and just start it over. And the 14 hit only does damage on like the last hit, so like it didn't do any fucking damage. It was hella lame. But yeah, this is the last thing I have, and this is super weird. Where's this at? Yeah, so it looks like Galford very clearly blocks a jump in crouching. Like, that's a standing block animation, right? So let me take note of what this looks like. He's kind of low, right? That's a standing block animation, I think. Right? That's standing block, right? That's right. There's crouching block, right? So he's clearly, like, you can clearly see him crouching. right? So there's this. There's this crouch block. So we can see this. So there's stand block. There's crouch block, right? I mean, he is crouching, right? So, okay. Let me see this again. I'm gonna feast my eyeballs on this thing because this shit was so weird. So he jumps in. Maybe that's stand block. Maybe it's just his stance is weird. But like, yeah, I think that's stand block. I think I'm just going crazy. It just looks like a crouch block, right? You do knock 14 hit to 11, cancel the scarf, and do another 14 hit. Oh yeah, but yeah. That's probably the easier version of that infinite too. Yeah, 11. Everybody can cancel that, or it's 12, or it's C plus D plus 11 hits. It's the 12. It's C. It's 3 C's. You do A B B C C A B C C C. A whatever. I'm not gonna count on my fingers, but you know what I mean. But yeah, when I saw this, I kept replaying it. I didn't look at his crouch animation before. So yeah, that's a standing block, but it just looks hella weird. Hecka weird, right? Like hella weird. But yeah, that's crouch block. Okay, so obviously he's not blocking that crouching, but yeah. Kind of strange, right? All right, so one more thing we're gonna look at here. Let's go to, this is gonna be, we're just gonna look at this Darli Dagger trailer. I've only seen it once. I haven't really like looked in depth, so we'll do this together. Let me turn this off. Let me go on the internet real quick. Where's my internet at? Let's go to Google. Oh, let's just go to YouTube. YouTube's got it. YouTube's got everything. Darli Dagger. Gamespot Trailers. So here's the link to this one if anybody wants the link. Let me get this full screen here. And we'll just do desktop. Where's display capture? Yeah, there we go. You know what? I got a better idea. I got a way better idea. One sec. I got a million better ideas. We're gonna look at this in DLC as well. Yeah, that works. 9 megs. Got it. Done. VLC. I typed in VLD, but it's good enough. My computer knows what I mean. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? All right. We got a window. Is it here? I got it. Oh, I forgot the window. 1 second. Boom. All right, let's check it out. First, let's just watch it. You know, react video. Whoa! Oh shit! They cut that picture in half. Hanzo. Actually, I didn't notice. There's other characters. So a lot of characters look real short in this game. Everybody notice that? Like Yoshitora looks like short. Hanzo looks like right. It's kind of bulky, right? Kind of wide. We'll see. All right, so that's like, all right. We'll just watch it. What the drill? Shit, she's like a dentist, right? Like it's fucking crazy. Look at the hit stop on that shit. That's sick. Super sick. Wonder if that's like a super. It looks like a super, like the startup of a super. Oh, there's the other new character, yeah. Hell yeah! All right, let's rewind this shit. Let's examine. Let's examine the video evidence. All right, so here's a new stage. Maybe it's Hanzo's stage. Maybe it's that new kid stage. Who knows? So this move right here. This is what we like to refer to as a cross-up. Or a neck kick, as it was referred to in Street Fighter II, the World Warrior. Multi-hit normals in the super, we'll see. We'll see. Did they actually cancel in the video? And that's a lot of stun. Now, notice Hanzo's back turned. I wonder if this counts as like a back turn hit. She hits it like, yeah, this is a back turn hit. Oh my god. VLC, come on. You can do it. Come on, VLC. That's a back turn hit. Hella stun, right? And then like this move at, I guess that's like a special. It could be a normal, I don't know. It could be like a down heavy or something, but. And that's a command throw? I'm guessing it's command throw. She's grabbing him, right? Like if you look at this. I mean, she's grabbing the gi. She's like, come here. Snatching him up, right? That's a grab. Command grab. There's a drill break. We don't know the details yet. I've heard like when she's disarmed, things happen. Because she has like a hammer, the drill. She has the saw. So I don't know if it's like just different moves. Yeah, yeah. You're right. Her drill does break. What was that? Yeah. Yeah, so, okay. Drills him up, right? Drills him up. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if that affects her gameplay. I don't know if that's just an animation. Maybe it's just it could be just an animation, right? Well, I don't know if this is like ties into a mechanic, but Summer Showdown being a game where like you can lose your weapon. Maybe. Yeah. Drill it and then malfunction. And now it's just like a ball in a cup, right? That's it. And that's all we see. We just see the recovery animation. So there's no like, we don't know what happens afterwards. This is that's a move. It's like Kyoshio's cross go back kick or slash or whatever the fuck it is. Cool. It's interesting. That's also the this is the KOF 14 wall slump. I'm really glad they're really using this a lot. The weapon deflect when you're disarmed, it does the same animation. I'm like, all right, cool. Just reuse those assets, SNK. You fucking do that. You save that money. She pulls out brand new drill if you do that command grab. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it would be strange, but it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, it's a 2D fighter, right? At its core. You know what? 2D fighters have done wackier stuff. So this is just a normal of some sort, I guess. Not much to see, I guess. But you see some Kyoshiro does his close medium. Also, look at the paint. Look at the body paint. He's got some pecs. We got the pec paint going on Kyoshi right here. Can we just zoom in? Zoom in on this? Oh, no. Anyway, got the pec paint going on. Got the calf. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Okay, what happens here? What do we got? Oh, I love this hit. This hit stop is so sick. I'm guessing this might be like a special. Could be like a far heavy slash. Who knows? But this hit stop is like so sick. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like four frames each. Or 3 frames maybe. This is like a 30, I think it's like 30 FPS video. That's so juicy. That's so juicy. Be like a 6H if she was a Guilty Gear character. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So this is like the first. So this is like the first part of her Mega Super Ultra Super, and then just her the cinematic on her Eason like tied together. So yeah, so it looks like it's gonna probably be like 3 hits or whatever, and then they cut it off. And this might be, who knows what this might be. I'm guessing, well, the screen's not yellow here, so I'm assuming that's our normal super. This is like our normal like weapon flip technique. Also, Tom looking pretty buff. Looking pretty tall as usual. Hanging out in Green Hill. Now look at that. Now look at this. I'm guessing it's like a hit grab, right? Pulls her in. And then kicks her. And it breaks. It definitely breaks. Look, it breaks. It breaks. That's the saw. It definitely breaks. And there's nothing. She doesn't even have the stick in her hand, right? Look at this. All right, so she pulls it in. Pulls it in. Boom, blade's gone. She has the stick. Okay, she has the stick. Now the stick's gone. It's gone. She does not have a weapon right now. There's nothing there. It just disappeared. Then she kicks him. And she still doesn't have a weapon. There's no weapon in her hand. It's gone. Oh, there's the stick. There's the stick. There's the stick. It's right there. Okay. Maybe it's just a weird looking animation. But there's like, that's that guy's arm. I was thinking that was maybe the end of it. No, it's that guy's arm. So that's the ref. So yeah, there's something there, but it's definitely not a full thing. Let's see the rest of the animation here. Maybe she could pull another one out. Huh? What's going on here? Okay. It's a stick, still a stick. It's still just a stick. Still just a stick. Still, that's the stick. It's a stick. It's just a stick. To the very end, it's just a stick. So yeah, I feel like it's a mechanic. I mean, I gotta be in agreement that this is like a mechanic that's happening. And they've also alluded to, remember they said like, oh, something surprising happened when she gets disarmed. So I think she has some, she reloads it from her backpack. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you have to like equip the different weapons or something. And this is the super mega super. So I'm assuming this is like the third hit of her super, right? So we saw the first two, right? Where was the first two? So there's the first two, right? So 1, 2, 3, right? So that's probably her super. Now she has the drill in the last one. She has a saw in the first one. I don't know if it's gonna. I imagine she just has one. It's just gonna switch. But what if she has like multiple supers, right? She could have like multiple supers with that shit. Who knows? But anyway. Interesting. It's actually pretty interesting trailer. God, my chat is all messed up. Look how spaced out my chat is. They changed the restream chat, and I like mostly fixed it, but it's not like totally fixed. It's bugging the hell out of me. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got. Here, I'm gonna sit here. This is some good stream content. Here, check this out. We're gonna try to fix my chat. I'm just gonna put letter spacing. Next is letter spacing, line height. I have it on important. It should know. It should know what the hell's going on. I had to like redo the transparent background. Whatever. I'll figure it out next time. At least I got the transparent background working again. They had to change their CSS code and it just messed up all my stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry for the stream's kind of short. I wasn't really wanting to play anything. Got like IRL crap going on, so hopefully I'll have all that IRL stuff done by next Tuesday, because Mortal Kombat's coming out. Actually, so I'm actually wondering when this thing actually comes out. Usually Steam game, I'm getting on PC, and usually Steam games, they let's start up Steam real quick. When is this? It's supposed to be the 22nd, right? But you never know. They could maybe. Usually it's like the day of, like at noon or like 2 p.m. or something. But I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Monday, and I'll be here Monday night. So whenever it comes out, as long as it's like Monday night or later, I'll hop on and we'll play some Mortal Kombat. But I probably won't be on until then. So yeah, hopefully get this crap dealt with. All right, I'm looking at Steam. I'm looking at the store. Steam just went to big picture mode without me doing anything. How about exit big picture? How about that? How about you exit big picture mode? How about that? I can't get out of big picture mode. Oh my god, what's happening? All right, well, this might just be a lost cause. I think my stick is doing crazy stuff. Okay, I'm gonna unplug my stick. I'm gonna try to get out of big picture mode. I should really be streaming this. It's like really involved stuff here. Let's just put on display capture. Let's find out. Mortal Kombat. I got like the whole thing pre-ordered. I got the combat pack. Release date April 23rd. Approximately 5 days. Yeah. Who knows? April 23rd is Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. It'll probably be like, yeah, I'll probably be on like after work or the middle of the day on Tuesday. So, Mortal Kombat, it'll be cool, I guess. There's Raiden electrocuting Scorpion, so we'll probably do that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Probably edit this a little bit and put it up on YouTube at some point, and then I'll see you then. Later.